What's going on, Sumo Links? Chris here with another AppSumo product walkthrough webinar. Today we are joined with Alex from Listagram. So Listagram is an interactive spinning wheel opt-in form for increasing email subscribers and conversion rates. It's a super cool tool. I was playing around with it last week, and it's available on AppSumo right now, starting off at just $29. So definitely something for you guys to check out. We're going to be diving into it in just a second. Two quick pieces of housekeeping. One, if you got to pop out early for any reason, we're going to be sending out a replay later, so you can watch it as many times as you'd like. Should be hitting your inboxes in just a couple hours for anyone who registered for the webinar. And number two, if you have any questions about Listagram, how it would integrate with your business, how you can use it, you can drop that in the Q&A box below. And a final thing I would like to ask you guys, let us know where you're tuning in from and what your business is. That'll help us kind of tailor the presentation to what you guys are working on. So feel free to just drop that in the chat. Let us know. But that is all you're going to be hearing from me for now. Alex, I'll turn it over to you if you want to get that screen share cranked up, and we can start walking through these Sumo Links, how to use Listagram to grow their email base.
Yeah, hi. Can you see my screen okay?
I cannot yet. It hasn't started sharing.
Right.
Got that green button down the bottom.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah. So let me just go back.
Let's see. We got Donna. We have Melanie. Okay, what are you guys working on? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just Math, Donna. Courses for writers. All right. What's going on, everybody? Great to see you guys here.
Right then.
You getting stuck on the screen? There it is. Looks like it's coming through. Give it 1 sec. In the comments, let us know. Are you able to see the presentation we got pulled up? Give us a comment. Yep. Okay. Cool. Good to go. I'm going to turn off my video to be less distracting, and you are good to get going, Alex. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thanks everyone for your time, for coming on. Like Chris said, I'm Alex from Listagram. We also have Yone here, the founder, in the questions. Yeah, if you need any help in the questions, Yone's there to answer them while I go through this this demo. But I wanted to take a quick step back and kind of ask you, why are you here? It's not an existential question. I just wanted to clear up why you are here, so that we can move on and be of value to you. And so if you're here, you probably want to grow your email list and you want to grow it fast. And so, if you're here for any other reason, you might be disappointed, but if you want to grow your email list, then you're in the right place. So you might be one of a couple of people. You own or work for an e-commerce store and you want to grow your email list. Listagram is specifically designed for e-commerce stores, but due to its flexible options, you can actually use Listagram to get subscribers on any type of site, but it's specifically designed for e-commerce. So if you're here for that, then great. And like I say here, if you have a website at all and you want to try different ways to get subscribers, then you can do that in some creative ways with Listagram too. But the problem you might have is getting enough people who visit your website to opt in to your email list. And this is one of the things or one of the reasons for that. These are all over websites. Join our newsletter. And this is the problem because they are way too easy to ignore, and they don't provide any kind of incentive for people to provide their email to you. And so it's kind of, these are just boring ways to get people to opt in. So yeah, I did a little search on Google here, and I do want to join our newsletter to see how many times this comes up on pages, and you can see 247 million results. It's crazy how many websites are using this. And this is basically what happens. Boring. So what does boring mean? A really poor opt-in rate. You may still be getting subscribers, and if you are using these kind of traditional methods of getting emails, then you may be suffering from quite a bad opt-in rate. But what do you think are the kind of average opt-in rates? I can't see in the chat here, but if you want to put in the chat what you think the average is. It'd be interesting for you to guess, but I won't hold off any longer. Less than 1% is actually very common, and you can see from the previous kind of slide there that I showed you why that might be the case. Just boring, uninventive ways. But the average is actually 2 to 3%. This is like 2 to 3% of the people visiting your website getting or submitting their email list, email address, keep saying email list. That's because you're going to grow yours with Listagram. And 5%, if you get 5% opt-in rate across your website, then actually that's usually considered very, very good. Now, let's go to Listagram and what's our average opt-in rate. You can see here, it's 11.6% is our average. And you can go to listagram.com to see the live opt-in rate. So we're so proud of our opt-in rate that actually we provide the figures here. Well, this is a screenshot, but you can see on listagram.com the average that we're getting. And this is across all our users. So there are some people getting a lot more than the 11.6. So what's the effect of this though? So you get 10,000 visitors maybe a month or maybe less, maybe more. But what's the effect on the number of emails that you get on this number of visitors? So less than 1%, this is common, remember. So on 10,000 visits, maybe 100 people submit their email address. If you're doing the average, so 200 to 300 per 10,000, and 5% here, 500. But you can see how much of an impact that has on the number of people on your email list if you're running something like Listagram, because this is our average opt-in rate. So do you think you can make more sales with more emails? Well, this is one of our users, and they tested with and without the wheel, and they actually increased their sales by 20%. So it's not just like quantity and getting loads of email addresses. These are actually ones that convert, and it's possibly a result of the discount that you're offering, because that then drives sales as well. So I told you the problem, which is poor opt-in rates due to kind of traditional methods, and Listagram has an average opt-in rate of quite a lot higher than the traditional average. So what is it exactly? Well, this is an example of a Listagram wheel. It's a pop-up opt-in form in the style of a roulette wheel that incentivizes your visitors to enter their email to win a prize. It's an email collection device, and so it connects to whatever email provider that you use. We've got quite a lot of integrations, and you can see those if you visit our website. We've got a lot of new ones, which I'll show you later. But you don't have to offer discounts. We have, this is only really limited by your creativity. You can offer free products or PDFs or a consultation even. But the idea is that the wheel and the way it pops up, it actually taps into our inbuilt desire to kind of seek rewards. And that is actually how dopamine is fired, because dopamine fires when we expect a reward. So it's an interactive pop-up that people like to use because of the dopamine that fires off. And just to give you an example of how you could use this in a more creative way and not offering discounts, is one I kind of mocked up. This is specifically someone who has a website about email marketing, and it's just a fun one here where you can just enter your email address. It says here, what kind of email marketer are you? The wheel spins, and once they enter the email address, and then it comes back. How about that? Does that sound like you? So a little fun way you can do it there. So I'm kind of done with the initial part, and I'm going to go over to the demo now. So when you create your account on Listagram, here is where you'll be taken. And I can recommend this video, even though I made it myself. It helps you set up a simple wheel. So if you want any reminders on how to set this up once this demo is finished, this video is a good one to use. So you'll first come here and you'll create your new wheel. You won't have any wheels here. So you click this button to create your wheel. You'll be asked to name it, which I'm going to do here. Test 3. Then you can choose a theme, and don't worry if these any of these that don't match your website, you don't want to, or you want to change certain things. These are all editable. So I'm just going to choose this one as my base theme and click create wheel. So here now is where you can actually set all the wheel options. So all the segments for the wheel, this is where you're going to input all that information. So what you've got here is an option for each segment. And this basically tells us, are you going to offer a coupon code, a free product, or no prize at all? And when you do this, this alters the rest. So you can see here that we've got coupon codes and no prizes as the segments. And then the next option here, this is actually what you type in and will appear on the wheel segment. So you can see so this is actually what will read out on the segment of the wheel. So you can put anything here that you want. Just bear in mind you keep it relatively short so that it fits in the segment. And then the value here is actually what the coupon is, and you can actually, if you select no prize, then you don't need to enter anything. But yeah, here is a coupon code, and you generate your own coupon codes from whatever platform you're using, and then you can enter them here. And then we've got this advanced settings box here for anyone wanting to do sort of more advanced stuff. For example, you can edit what's said to when someone wins the segment, what is kind of shown to them if you want to do that. You can also choose unique coupons that you've generated so that you have different coupons for each person, and you can upload those in a different area of the tool. And you can also choose not to show the coupon code immediately after someone's played, and then you can actually set up some automations based on what they've won. So you don't have to show the code to someone once they've won it. You can actually email them a code. And then the final part here is a percentage win rate. Now we suggest that you have someone wins something every time, because it just makes someone feel better rather than landing on no prize. So you can see here that we've just put 0% for all the no prizes, and then that just means that people are happier when they've played the wheel and won whatever they've won. And yeah, so you can actually just, if you wanted to just keep this really, really simple, just keep all the codes the same. So it's just a 10% off and then no prize, and just alternate those, because that's just easy to set up. And the main point with this is that actually getting set up is the main hurdle. And I want you to be able to benefit from this. So getting set up and simply set up is important, because even on simple setups, you'll be amazed at the results that you get compared to kind of traditional setups. So then you go on to preview the wheel, and this is the wheel that's going to be shown. You can enter your email address in here and spin it, and you'll see what comes up, so you can test it. But I'll do that in a minute, and I'll just move on to settings. So here's all the wheel settings. So this is basically all the interesting stuff about how you want your wheel to show on your website. And you notice that it's off by default. That's because if you're creating a wheel and you have the code installed on your website, then you're going to need this off until you're ready to show it. So here's the exciting stuff is you can have different display settings for mobile and desktop. And the display settings are leave intent. So this is basically where when someone is about to leave the website, so they go up to the top of the page, perhaps we want to close a tab that they're on, and that's when it will show. If you're on a mobile, that's slightly different. So it's when someone is scrolling fast back up to the top of the page, as if they're going to close that tab or go to the address bar. So then this will pop up if you've got this leave intent on. We also offer you the ability to have a timed pop-up. So if they've been on the website for a certain amount of time, then this will pop up. I'm going to just set this to 1 so that I can demonstrate it very quickly to you. Yeah, the default is 20 seconds on both. And like I say, you can have different settings for mobile as opposed to desktop. So you can do that. And also you have the option here to use a click trigger. So this is where someone will click a button to trigger the wheel. So you could do that if you use this class on your link. And then, so the other setting here is based on cookies. So this first one is called cookie lifetime, and it's basically the days until you show the wheel again to someone who has played or closed it. So yeah, if you've put 30 days here, they've played or closed the wheel, then they won't see the wheel again when they visit the website. And then alternatively, but in addition to that, we've got the temporary cookie lifetime, which is basically if someone hasn't closed the wheel, then they've just kind of discarded it and moved away from it, then we can show them the wheel again. So an example would that be where they've triggered the exit intent, it's popped up, they haven't played it, they've just kind of clicked away from it. If they go then to exit again, they will be shown the wheel again, but you can change how long that will be in minutes here. And then once you've finished, you click the save here. We've also got GDPR settings here for those that want to show it. And you can change the text that you show. So this is useful for you if you're interested or need to implement that. There's the footer settings. Now this is actually pretty useful because once someone's won the code, you can actually show them a footer, like a footer notification with the code embedded in that. And then also we offer you the ability to show them a countdown to kind of provide that urgency. So if you want that on, turn it on and then click save. Here we're now sort of editing the wheel. You can add kind of 2 logos or pictures. They don't have to be logos. And this is added to the wheel itself. Well, this logo will be displayed at the top right. And this one is actually for the center of the wheel. And I've got one here. I'm just going to click and use that. This is, yeah, just in the center of the wheel. So you've got a small kind of spinning center to the wheel, which always is nice. Then you can go here to edit the theme. So what I had earlier about using a theme, well, here's where you edit the theme. And so you give it a name, and then you've got a lot of options. So everything that you see here is editable. This part is mainly talking about colors, images, and yeah, the fonts. So you have a lot that you can also change the wheel here to whatever you like. And you are also able to upload your own custom image. So you can do that. So you can completely customize this. Then this is regarding the font, this is regarding the slices here. So you can change the font to whatever you want. You can change text color. And then arrows, you can change that to whatever you like as well. So lots and lots of options there. You can change the background color. And you can notice here that there's a pattern in the background. You don't have to have a pattern. You can choose nothing. But we've got some backgrounds that you can choose here. Some ones, around Black Friday. So you can kind of customize them to the time of year. I quite like this spooky one, but it's not really that time of year. So I'll just put some circles in the background. And as I said, you can change the opacity here, or even the color as well. So yeah, lots of options there. You can even create your own background. And then you can change colors and fonts for this part in the right-hand side. So if you don't like this green, you can change it. So yeah, you can add images up here as well, but I'll keep it simple. More options around the fonts. This is the general font, and then the font over here on this title. And you can even change the font in the input here, and in the button. So lots and lots you can do. If you know CSS, you can even edit the wheel using that. So I'm just going to click save on that, and then go back to the wheel. So yeah. So now I'm going. This is advanced. I'm not even going to. But if you want to know what that is, you can contact us. But 99% of you won't be using this. This is where you add your email provider. But I just wanted to go on to the other settings here. You can rename the wheel. You can even clone wheels and delete them as well. This is good if you want to set up a few wheels on maybe different areas of the website and just want to clone the wheel. So the next part is that I'm going to connect the email provider. Now, to do this, what you need to do is go over to integrations, and I'm going to select Klaviyo. But you can see here we've got Mailchimp, Aweber, Active Campaign, all these ones. We've recently added a few more. You can see here. You can add multiple integrations as well, so you're not limited to just one. But I'm going to add this one, and I'm just going to have 44, whatever. So what it actually is quite easy to do actually, because you just come here and then follow the instructions. So it just says enter your private API key, which is found under account settings and then API keys in Klaviyo. So I'm just going to do that. Settings and account, email. Email settings. Sorry, API keys, that's the one. So copy that and just add that in there, and then we're done. You can turn on double opt-in here for your for the email subscribers, and you can also pass across for certain integrations. You can pass across the slice label and the slice value. So this is what the visitor sees on the wheel, and also the discount code, for example. So I'm just going to create integration and then click test to see, and we're all good to go. So now I'll go back to my wheel, and when that loads, go to settings, and then choose the integration here, Cloud44. And then it asks me to choose the list. So you might have several lists. So I'm just going to choose one list and click Save Integration. Also, by the way, I forgot to say, when you've customized your theme, you'll need to go to your wheel and select it back here. So I'll just click that and click Save. And so that's it basically to integrating your email platform. It's very, very simple. And the next step is to install it on your website. And to do that, literally just go over to here, account, and then installation. And here's the code. Now, if you're running a WordPress or WooCommerce site, then we've got a plugin that you can use, and then you enter your token. you can install this directly on your website, but also I like to use Google Tag Manager. So it's really, really easy. I just go across to Tag Manager, create a new tag, just name it Listagram, and then go to custom HTML, enter the HTML, yeah, here, and click save. Oh, actually, you save tag, give it a trigger, which means all pages, and click submit. I'm not going to give this a name, but I'll just publish it. Now, once you've installed it, that's it, basically. That's the installation done. Now what I need to do is just go over to the demo wheel, go to settings, and then click enable. I'm actually going to change some settings here. I'm going to put this to 0 and then click save display. Yeah, so now if I go over to the website this is installed on, and I click refresh, actually, let me just check that I've switched the right wheel. Unfortunately, on demo test 3. This is turned on, and we've done that. So if I click refresh, typical live situation. Where are we? I'm just going to check that I've got the right installation code installed. Go across to Tag Manager. So just gonna, let's go back to the tags here. Actually, I had I published it. Let's see. Excellent demo. Sorry about this, guys. Little gremlins in the system, so to speak. I'm sure it's coming down to the tag manager here. I just need to go and edit this. Go to tags. Click edit. Actually, let's just delete this one. I'm going to set this up again. So go to tags. New tag. I'm not going to name this one. I'm just going to edit the code here. I'm going to leave it as untitled. All pages. Maybe it's custom HTML. And then I'm going to click submit. I'm actually going to change this, publish that. And then go over to the wheel. I want to make sure that that's all the settings are correct in there. So it is on. Right. So yeah. So let's see. Yoni's adding the trigger, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to take some questions while we sort of brainstorm this. I'm sure that it's well, I know it's something. It's in the way I've set this up, but being one of the first webinars, things will always go a little bit awry, I think. So okay, I think I've figured it out actually. Well, it's Chris, should we take some questions? And
Yeah, your team's actually been tackling all of the questions like
all right,
bosses
okay.
in here. But yeah, if you wanted to, we could also go over the deal page if you want to do that and kind of discuss what's included in the AppSumo deal with each tier.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go to the deal page here. The main difference is basically how many views you get with a wheel. With the you can stack quite heavily with these. With one code, you get the 50,000 wheel views. Now, a wheel view is basically when a wheel is shown. It's not based on specifically traffic. It's just based on when the wheel shows. So if you, for example, have a website and you only want to show it on one of your pages, then it's based on how many views that it will get. If you're showing this site wide and you're using this maybe as an agency, then you can use more codes and get more wheel views. So we do up to 6 codes, and that gives you up to 1 million wheel views per month. So you do renew every month. So yeah, if you're an agency, then you probably want a higher end. If you're intending to use this for multiple websites, then you might want to kind of future-proof yourself to buy or stack a few more codes. So yeah, that I think that covers the codes that you've got. But also wanted to I'll go back to the demo in a second, but I also wanted to talk about what's coming soon. And we've got a few email integrations that have actually been suggested to us while we've been on AppSumo, and we've got SendFox, which has been deployed. We've got Gist, which has been deployed at AnmuSend as well. So coming in the next few weeks, we've got ConvertKit and MailerLite. So other integrations we've got coming as well are the Zapier integration and Integromat. Now these will help you if you are if we don't have one of your email integrations, one of your email platforms to integrate with. We'll be able to connect to Zapier, and then Zapier will be able to connect to your platform, because Zapier and Integromat connect to thousands of other email platforms, and so that opens up. If we haven't yet covered your email platform, we will via Zapier or Integromat. And we have also got Kickbox. This was suggested to us by a couple of users, a couple of AppSumo Sumo. So this is actually, you can, this is coming, it's not deployed yet. Same with Zapier and Integromat. So Kickbox will enable you to verify emails when they've been submitted. I believe that you won't be able to spin the wheel unless the email is verified by Kickbox. But that's something additional that you can add. And I believe that we're working on that at the moment. So new features as well. So we've got some so a few features that have been in development. So you'll be able to have custom opt-in fields. So at the moment you can add, you get an email address, but in future you'll be able to add email, phone number, and those kind of fields to add into your email platform or CRM. We'll also be adding Facebook Messenger opt-ins. So in case you don't want to use email, or you might be able to use it in addition to sign people up to Facebook Messenger. And then we've got this a viral contest feature, which is going to be kind of a separate tool, but you will have access to this. I actually, it's been under wraps quite, Yone kind of has kept it under wraps from me a little bit. So I don't know the full feature set of this, but if you want to find out more, we can put the link to the viral contest feature in the chat. So those are a few things that are on the agenda at the moment. I'm just going to go back over to the website to see if I can set this up. I didn't talk about URLs, so I'm just going to go to that setting here as well. So you can actually enable your wheel to be shown on specific pages or sections of your website. So you could set up a wheel for a particular category, and you could make the wheel custom to that category. For example, you got an e-commerce store and you sell clothing, and you want to show a specific wheel to people looking at jackets. And the reason for this is if you make the wheel sort of more relevant and more interesting to them at the time, then you can potentially increase the amount of opt-ins. For example, so I was saying about being in the jacket category, you could show them a wheel which was designed for the jacket category. It could have a jacket sort of background, and you could talk about jackets in the offers that you present to people. And so you can include URLs here. Now, if you include a URL, that means you're telling Listagram you only want this wheel to show on that particular URL. More common use might be also to exclude certain URLs. And so, for example, here you might want to exclude the cart, and so do that here. So if I go back to the wheel, and let's see if I can go to. It's been had a few impressions. Actually, let's go back and just set this to a few seconds. Cookie lifetime is 0, so that should be okay. Click that. Everything is set up here as it should be. So it may be due to, I just want to go over to check this.
Alex, could I interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely, yeah, please do.
I think you should try to open an incognito session because I think it's the cookie that is bothering you. If you already saw the wheel, it won't appear again, because usually you don't want to bother your visitors with the wheel multiple times.
You got it. So there it is.
There you go. I'm going to mute myself again now.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good, actually, it's a good good demonstration, because you don't want to be bothering people if based on if someone's wanting to come back here a lot, then it shows that the wheel is working. I'm glad you came on to do that. I always forget things when I'm trying to do a webinar, but yeah, so you can see it popped up here, and that's because I've gone to exit the website, and also I've got the timed trigger on. So yeah, thanks for showing that, Yoni. We know that it works, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that, because it's worth showing you. So yeah, So yeah, I think we can go to that. I mean, I've shown you all the features now, and I've finally shown it working. You can see it's responsive as well to your screen, which is great. And this, when someone's dismissed it, you see this no thanks and the close button. When someone clicks that means it won't show to that person for the time you've set in the cookie lifetime here. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all I had.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking all the time to go through that, Alex. Super helpful to see how to actually get this set up and running. Again, for all the Sumolings on here, you can check out Listagram on AppSumo. It's on there starting off at just for that first code. And again, it's all backed by the AppSumo 60-day guarantee. So feel free to get it set up, get it plugged in for your website, see how quickly you can grow your list. And if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to us. You can leave your comments on the deal page. And Alex, what's the best way for folks to contact you guys directly?
Well, we have a live chat. So if they go to listagram.com, the live chat feature, if you can see my screen still, it's just down the bottom right here. And yeah, that's manned by Yone. And so you're going to be speaking to the best person using that feature.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, Alex, thank you so much for taking the time again. And thank you and your team for bringing this deal to AppSumo and to the Sumoling community. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll all be talking again soon. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.